Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In this episode we're going to be trying to go back to probably the only combo that currently exists in Moonbreaker other than the Tari Arsenal Rickety Backfire combo, and that is going to be the Furia and Fatetwister Tantun. So what we're going to do in this list is, given how aggressive the meta is, what we've tried to do is put in a few just regular pieces, so Maximus, Deadeye and Beatris, just to sort of try and hold down the early game, keep us alive, and then we've got Nectarvine and Aegys Defense Dome to take sort of the top end as the standard sort of, we want this game to drag out a little bit longer, we want to heal up and all that sort of thing. We've got Shrapnel, who's the go-to sort of anti-aggro unit in general, so we've got that as our 4-drop, and then we've also fit in the combo as well. We've gone for Zax this time rather than Astra, so Astra can ramp it out a little bit quicker. We can use the Cinder Orbs, however, I feel like given the current meta, the aggro meta is going to be so much more important to have the 2 attack on a commander or a captain. So, Furia 1.1. The reason we go 1.1 is patch 1.1. Technically, we're in hotfix 3. So this is going to be, like a barcode of a name here, but this is just an idea of what we're doing. I want to try and bring this out every so often to see what's viable. There are so many other things we can do with the list, but it's hard to try and find ones that actually sort of work fully. It would be great if we could do things with like buffing a Broken Vengeance and finding ways to sort of force damage onto him, but again that depends on the opponent's list and things like that, so we're going to have another look at the Furia combo and see if we can get this to work in a PvP game. Now, where is our barcode? Right at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to jump into a couple of games here, and so the way that this combo works, for anyone who's not familiar, is Furia deals 1 damage to herself and gains +3 attack for her next attack only. Now the interesting thing about this is it stacks continually, so every single turn you're getting 3 more damage on there as well. So if you can hold her back for 6 turns, which is most of her life total, but if you can hold her back for 6 turns, she has got 20 attack, so 2 plus 3 times 6 is 18, so 20 total attack, which is enough to one-shot a captain. Now, I imagine in a lot of these games we're probably going to have to use Furia as a one-time 5 damage attack to just take out some of their units, which isn't what we want to do, but the way the combo works is if we can get it up to that high damage, we can use Fatetwister Tantun, and what he does means that it's got a 100% chance to hit, so we can keep her safe as far away on the map as possible and just take the captain out from literally the opposite end as long as Fatetwister Tantun's nearby. Now, one of the things I want to try with this is it's kind of like twofold. It's partly to try and do the combo, but I also want to try out using Fatetwister Tantun defensively. So if we're against something like Antios Gauntlet, using the ability on that means it's so much less likely to deal lots of damage unless they have Drum Dancer Tali involved. Or we could use it on Blindsider Esley for the same reason, and just try and find ways to hold off those big damage attacks that have been sort of coming at us at sort of rapid pace. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go. I think it's going to be hard to pull off. It's going to be so far in this game I've tried this I think it's the 3rd video I'm going to have tried this in different stages in the game, so there's been different patches and that sort of thing, different formats, but I've never really got it off to be a one-shot. I've done basically, I think it was like 16 or 18 damage, got very close to taking an enemy captain out in one shot, but I've not quite been able to do the full 100 to 0 take them out immediately with Furia combo. So that's what we're going to be fingers crossed aiming for today. If not, we're just going to see if we can make this run as a real list as well. So it's not just about trying to do the combo, it's about trying to make the combo viable in a list that otherwise also works. With Furia as well, because she damages herself, we've got the Aegis Defense Dome, which reduces that damage from 1 to 0, so she's going to be harder to actually take down. She's going to be stacking up without taking any damage, and we've also got the Nectarvine as well to keep healing it up as well. So we've got a few options of keeping her alive, and between those we should have a very reasonable chance at getting to higher attack values without necessarily losing Furia. So when we get ourselves a game, I'll pop back in and we can jump in and see how well we get on. Okay, we are back into the game. We've got an Extilior opponent, so this is going to be hard because they're going to be running towards us, and they can also block some of the damage as well, so we need to find ways of staying safe. Now, I think Furia potentially keeps her health if you medical recall as well, Although Stim Burst and Plink seems really good for just trying to run away and take a few extra damage off, so we're going to go with that initially. We're against Wretched Flow, who I actually think we may have played earlier on in a different video. So there's no, there's nothing here that we can get a reasonable line of sight. None of this is going to give us anything substantial. So we're just going to pop Maximus out there. Given their positioning, we can actually just play Maximus as far forward as possible and just try and get a safe turn next turn. They're not going to be able to get into range this turn no matter what, so we can try and play it safe. But mostly what we want to be using our units for is to chip away at things and work our way towards getting our own larger amounts of damage out later in the game. So them moving up here means we can get shots onto this, or if we Stim Burst, we are actually likely to be able to get shots onto their Maximus, and I think that might be what we want to do straight away. So just Stim Burst both of these. We'll move to about here to get the shot onto the Maximus, I think. So we should be able to get at least one, possibly two. If we got a crit, that would have been excellent, because we could have plinked for lethal. And then what I actually think we're going to do, because we'd hit 5 next turn, I think we want to hold off on doing any, on playing anything this turn, and try and just play Furia down next turn. So I'm just going to find the lowest chance of decreasing that there. And yeah, I think, given that we have Stim Burst and Plink, we can keep applying pressure. Next turn we're probably just going to run over this way, place Furia over here, and see if we can start getting this damage. Okay, so they're vortexing over here, which means they can probably get something done with their Maximus, but depending on... they might not have enough range to do anything about it, is the thing. They could have Nectarvine. I've heard people talking about Nectarvine. Ooh, Amplified Vital already. Okay, yeah, so they're absolutely going to be able to kill him without a miss. Ooh, they got the miss. Okay, that's pretty brutal. So, there's a good chance here that we're going to be running Maximus away. Just, no, because we can't get a good line of sight. There's not going to be a good line of sight here at all. So what we're going to do is, it's Vital that we probably want to start working on to begin with. So we'll go for this. We did get both, which is what we wanted. We want to get a good angle onto Vital here, so we need to be about here to do so. And push for this. We got it, which means we can Plink. And then we're going to play our Furia as far back as possible. Now, given that Maximus can move over there, placing her this direction I think is the safest. So next turn we've got more movement, we've got more plinking. They're going to struggle to get good line of sight on most of our units, and we can just move Furia back here and maybe even play Nectarvine to heal Maximus up as well. So this could be a really good turn for setting up our little combo and trying to see what we can get to work. Now, given that we might be playing Nectarvine, what we also need to bear in mind is that we need to just keep Furia alive, so depending on what they play, we could actually start just trying to move block things and trying to be a little bit more cautious on that front. So is this Disruptor Beam? Have they got Vortex and Disruptor, or are they going for like Orbital maybe? This could be Orbital. Yeah, this is Orbital. Okay. So we're not as worried about Orbital because we've got Stim Burst here. We can easily just move in range, deal a couple of damage and run away again. But what we need to make sure is that where we run is far enough out of the way that Crankbait doesn't have a really easy line to bring us into Extilior range. So we're probably going to try and be going back here. And I think Furia is probably going to have to go nearer the back.
This is frustration.
They could go for this, so they could see if they get a hit here. They do. It depends where they hide, because if they hide back here, then that's a good idea. If they hide up there, that is not a good idea, because we can just kill that with Maximus. So, we're going to Stim Burst these two units.
Now we're talking.
So, we do actually already have a reasonable shot over here. So let's just go for this. 69%. We got it. And we can move over here. We'll pop 2 damage down there. What we want to do is we want to move this here so that it's actually Zax that gets pulled instead of Maximus if it's going to be anything. Furia can just pop further back.
They should run.
This says we've got 4 Cinder, but it's showing only 3. So I'm actually going to screenshot that because that's an unusual bug. I've never seen that before. Very strange. And I think honestly, we're probably better off just playing maybe Beatris somewhere down here. And let's save a bit of time and get Fatetwister Tantun out early. Actually, no, let's go Deadeye. Because we're a few turns away from Tantun being relevant. So we'll pop Deadeye out.
We trained for this.
Now what we're going to do now is we're going to start turtling up. So there's a good chance that they're going to place their next orbital over here. So what we need to do is just be taking enough units down that they can't deal with that as easy as they might want to. So for instance here I imagine they pull Beatris, because it's their only real option. And then we can start maybe chipping things down. We've got up to 8 damage with Furia so far. So this might be our big hits here. So they've still got a lot of units left to deploy, so they're absolutely not out of this yet by any means. There's a very strong chance that they can still compete on some fronts here. And I think we're going to be looking for the Nectarvine next turn. If we can kill Crankbait, we absolutely will. Crankbait is going to be...
Irresistible.
Ooh, interesting. So this is their Vortex, trying to get things into range. So next turn we're going to be using our Stim Burst to run away. Here we're probably just going to be trying to kill Crankbait and leaving Beatris blocking things. Yeah, and then what's their follow-up is the question. And how aggressive are they going to be with it also? So they've got Aria. Okay. And second wind, so they've got another unit to come. That's their Beatris. Okay, so their Beatris is going to be more of an issue than anything else. So I actually think that we need to... Yeah, that's pretty good for us.
What is this armor made of?
So Beatris can move to a couple of angles but not really get anything spectacular. So yeah, this doesn't quite hit 2 of them, but let's just go for this regardless. We've missed! Oh, this, yeah, I always forget how big of an impact the smoke has. So we've got 93% chance here, which is good.
Oh, I forgot my lucky cravat.
Is Maximus still stuck? Interesting. So Furia obviously just needs to run away. We're trying to keep her alive, that's kind of her whole thing here. So what if we move up here and just try and get one shot at least onto this. We got the one, that's all we needed, because we're going for the Plink to follow up.
What have we got here?
We're going to place a sleeper mine about here. Make it really hard for them to get through here. And honestly, so we've got Force Cinder. I don't think we want to spend any. I think we just want to shoot here. Take one. Beatris can't get in range. Deadeye's going to move over here. And then it's probably time... we can't even play Nectarvine in a good spot. So let's play Shrapnel here. No, let's go Tantun. We're going to go for Tantun to make sure we've got this extra sort of combo for later on. We're getting closer and closer. So next turn we're going to Stim Burst and just run away. We do need to find a way of keeping Zax alive though. So we might be getting a little greedy here, but I really can't avoid doing that if I'm trying to be getting this combo online. Okay, so that's fine. We can shoot this out the way and then still run with our Stim Burst. They're shooting the mine, so if they go here and attack the mine, then that's also probably okay for us. Oh, they've gone for us and they've left the mine alive and they've already moved. So we're both going to take a damage each because we've got armor, they've got a shield. So this is a shot that needs to happen because they have to get back away from us. We'll Stim Burst everyone.
Nice.
Now, Zax is still stuck behind Beatris, but if we go for this way with our Beatris, pop the hit here. Yeah, so even with Stim Burst, this isn't that good of a movement phase. But we're going to pop this down here. Pop a Sleeper Mine down to, again, make it just a little more difficult for them to get to us. Fatetwister Tantun's actually going to stop their Beatris's next attack. And we're going to start running across the board with other things. Maximus can not really do anything unless he's got a good line of sight onto... Yeah, so Maximus is going to come over and shoot Jailbreak. Which has worked out well. Fatetwister Tantun needs to stay over by Furia. Deadeye can do... Deadeye can do the same.
We need
and we're going to play the defense dome over here. So Furia no longer takes damage, and we're just going to plink over here as well.
What have we got here?
So Furia is our only big attack left.
My pay will be.
We're up to 14. So I think next turn we probably just go for it. Or do we just try and go for the full one-shot here? Excuse me, just hiccuped. So there's a chance they actually just let the bomb explode here and take 2 damage back from Beatris, in which case we do just let Furia win the game. Yeah, so they're in range of the bomb, and they might... If they actually, they should spin here, really. Yeah, so spinning kills the mine. They can attack Beatris and take 2 back, down to 15. If we had Bytol, we could go for this, but that means we have to wait one more turn. It also means we have to keep Zax alive somehow. So, next turn we... Yeah, so here's the orbital. We knew this would be coming. Yep, this is all fine. Because I think they're forgetting that we can actually gravity disc ourselves away. Ooh! Okay, I think that crit changes things to the point that we have to probably go for it now.
I'm the crew's caught up.
Is there a route? Is there a world in which we don't have to go for it? What they want to do actually here is block off here, because if they do that, we can't knock them back with our attack on Zax. You know what? Okay, just to be on the safe side, in terms of the combo qualifying, I want to leave this until next turn. So I'm going to see. This does knock back, I believe.
I'm the Cinder Whisperer.
But is that out of base contact? It is not, but they missed. Beatris can come over here. So we're going to go for this just to kill Jailbreak. Although we have actually got them out of range now. Let's just go for the big kill. We've got enough damage now. They're down to 13. We have Furia with 14 damage. Fatetwister Tantun. Furia unable to miss. And let's go. 14 damage. Amazing. We got it. So that was, again, it was a little bit cheaty. It wasn't 100 to 0. Like, I wouldn't say it's cheating. It's still in the game plan. But we absolutely managed to just deal, well, nearly 3/4 of their life just with Furia stacking that up. So that's absolutely awesome. We're going to try and get another one and see if we can pop another opponent with another big old Furia attack. So click our barcode list and see what we can do. So I think the thing that was key there is being able to at least compete in the early game. I don't think Furia is going to work very well if we're just trying to ramp out to it, if that's our only early unit and we're just sat there trying to take additional trades and things like that. Furia is not going to be able to survive. We need to give them other targets and more impactful early on to deal with so that we can then attack them with our Furia in the late game. And I think that's exactly what we did. We also held off as long as possible on playing our defensive units, so we only played the defense dome when we had sort of a secure board state. We didn't play the Nectarvine because we didn't need to, and even Fatetwister Tantun was sort of a last option there. So I feel like that's the way to play it. Just play it as if you've got a normal list, and then have that as sort of the finishing combo. And we'll have another game now. See if we can do the same again. So I'd love to be able to get another big Furia finish. It's a really fun way of ending a game. It looks like this might be the same opponent. This looks like very much the same style of Exterior here. So we've got Escape Hatch and give an ally invulnerable, which is pretty nice with what we're doing. So let's go with that. Now let's see, is this the same opponent? I think it's quite likely to be. It is indeed the same opponent again. So obviously here we can't get anything in range. We're going to pop our Maximus down and just pass the turn. So this is probably a wrong placement for Maximus, just to point that out, because they can just move up and pin us against the wall if I haven't put it close enough. Oh, I'm going to plant. Hey, this is a nice little viewpoint. So they've obviously played their Maximus, which is what we'd expect. The big question here is, can we get line of sight onto it?
At your service.
Can. So let's try and get 2 hits here. We did, so we can just go straight back up here in that case. And the question is, can we get a good line of sight on this? So we've got -19, nothing there, -35, so let's go -19. 43. Not ideal, but did get it. Perfect. And what we'll do is we'll just place Deadeye so we can have a more sort of more pressure on the board. Now, next turn we're going to try and avoid playing anything if we can, and we want to save at least one Cinder. If not, we can just play a 2-drop and save it, so we can get Furia out as early as possible. We also tried this time to place Maximus a little further back, so he's harder to pin against the wall. Okay, so I think our opponent felt like we got a little bit too far ahead there. That's the issue with potentially having an aggro start, is that we've very much got a very strong early game, and it could just take it over without us ever getting to see our combo. So we're going to go in another game, see what happens. I think that's one of the benefits of playing a list like this, is that you still get to do your fun thing without just giving up the early game. I'm hoping this isn't the same opponent again just for their sake. I don't think it's going to be very fun for them playing against the same list each time, but who knows. It is not, it's a Zaxxakar. Ooh, it's a Founders Pack Zax as well. So with this list, I love Stimburst and Disruptor, it looks great. It's going to be pretty good versus an aggro list. We get to run away, and we're against Jab Angel. Jab Angel 333, and given that we're a... is that a Maximus? Of course it is. Okay, so there's not going to be any good angle onto Maximus, so I'm literally just going to hide for now and play our own Maximus. So the reason I'm doing this is that they don't know that we're going to come in with multiple movement assists this turn. They could have Disruptor and go for it. This feels like Vortex to me, just pulling this out of place. Yeah. So if they go for Vortex, we've got Stimburst and Disruptor. Okay, they could get range onto this. Obviously Maximus can. So we've actually got very similar assists here. And I think we've both got the ones that our lists would likely want if they're an aggro list. The question is, can they get a good angle with their captain? It doesn't look like they might be able to, so we'll have to see. Okay, they did get the miss, that's what we wanted. And then we've got Force in the next turn, so we can potentially play 2-2-drops and deal with things that are a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so yeah, they're the aggro start here. So this is obviously a list where we want to get the 2-2-drops. Their Maximus is going to be an issue, so it might even just be that we want to play Shrapnel out.
I'm right over here.
So, given that these are both 6 and 5, these don't make too much of a difference in what we attack. As long as we hit... Oh wow, not hitting either is, I'll admit, pretty brutal. So we're going to move back here. Shoot one. Okay, so that's an absolutely terrible start. So we're going to shoot these two. Where can we get to? There you go. So this works in terms of what we want to do this from.
Like my battle mask.
Maximus can then move behind here to try and get lower line of sight onto us. We're going to save our Stimburst. And then I think here we do have to play... In fact, no. Let's play Beatris here. And sort of wall this off a little bit. And let's play Deadeye as well. So this way we've got quite a solid sort of... We've got a solid variety of options with which to fight back. So they're going to be able to get some shots off, but they're not going to have easy shots on things they want to shoot. They could probably, I was going to say, go down here and shoot Maximus. Them missing that is really good for us. That means that we can probably kill Maximus next turn. And with Stimburst, we're likely to be able to get on some of these if they move aggressively. And that's kind of what we want them to do. So we're happy for them to move up as far as possible. If they think they're moving just out of our movement range, then that's perfect. Hang on, how are we trapped in here with Beatris? Does she not fit through this gap? Is there still a gap where large based units don't fit now? Because that's quite awkward if that's the case.
Distracted by my reflection.
I mean, this should absolutely be something she fits in. If we have to end up using a gravity disc just to get out of here, that's really awkward. Okay, so they've got loads of stuff and Vortex next turn.
The wings were a bad choice.
So what can we start trying to take out? I think we're going to need to do this.
What have we got here?
And we're going to start with Deadeye. And honestly, I think it's Drum Dancer Talali that we need to take out the most.
Just a small intermission.
So we can come in with... Okay, so we can't get to Tlali here, but if we can potentially get to Maximus on this front. We did get that, and then we can move back into this smoke. We will use Zax over here. Which we can. And then we can get Beatris hopefully in line here. Is this not actually going to hit both? That's pretty awkward. So we're going to have to try and deploy something else to help deal with this, or save our Cinder for next turn. Honestly, I think we save the Cinder. And just try and play something that holds our own a little bit next turn. So we're going to lose Deadeye here.
Let's give them an encore.
They could just be going for...
Autograph
I mean, that's fine, I don't care about that. They could end up just going for Beatris here, and that does deal damage back again.
Wait for the main event.
And if they've blocked themselves off with Antios, so Deadeye's actually going to live here, probably. Okay, now they're going to just get Antios in, that's fine. And then,
making me wait?
yeah, they can get onto our captain, so that's fine.
We're never going.
This is about what we expect to happen versus an aggro list, but at least here we do get a chance to fight back a little, so we might even be able to have multiple chances at dealing damage to S2 next turn if they don't get a crit here. Yeah, so what we can do is we can actually move over here, shoot Esli back this way, move Beatris over here to get an attack into one of these, probably into Antios, and then try and finish it off with Maximus at a good angle coming from this side. And we've got 7 Cinder with which we can play probably... I mean, we could go Furia Fatetwister would be good. I mean, whether they pull themselves in or not is fine. That's actually probably better for us with Beatris, because Beatris can absolutely just line that up. But, okay, so Beatris is going to die on the backswing here, unless we get our first attack in a little bit better. But I think lining them up and taking potentially 6 damage on their front is worth the risk, because we don't want to lose the opportunity for this hit. So that was massive. We can basically get probably just melee range here and see if we can get this hit. Did. Maximus is going to move over here, take out Antios Gauntlet. Okay, so in that case we should have gone for something different. But here, so with 7 Cinder, I feel like going defensive is the right play. So let's just go with... Oh, we're not here to play defensive, we're here to have fun. But no, we can't have too much fun. Love it. Person playing a game, best thing I could offer is that we shouldn't have too much fun. Oh yeah, Maximus can move again, he just go back here. Honestly, no, I'm going to play Shrapnel into here,
Troubleshooter here.
gain extra Cinder, and then play Furia as far back as we can, and then shoot her back even further. So make Furia pretty much not viable for them to shoot. And then we can start working on the Furia combo and try and take them down. So again, this can be a good amount of damage onto Shrapnel, but if they stay in this sort of location, especially given that they're trapped... Ooh, the crit! Okay. Because that should have only been 6 damage. And they managed to deal the 7, so... This is going to be an awkward situation here, but we are definitely still in this. We've got Stim Burst next turn as well, so Maximus is probably going to be able to deal with one of these, and Zach's probably deal with the other. I don't know about this. I feel like this is just giving me a free unit, especially if I can actually get Maximus in line of sight of Tlali, then I can just move Zax over here. If they're trying to block me in, that would work, but... Yeah, so we're just going to take Antios out this way. We're going to move... can't quite get the perfect angle here, but I'm not going to use Stim Burst if I can avoid it. Yeah, we've got the one we needed. And we'll just hide out again. Furia's going to hide at the back. Honestly, I think we're just going to play Tantun. And try and play Tantun as safe as possible, so right in here. And... yeah, I think that's what we want to do. So they've got 4 units left. We don't. We've only got... they've got 4 units left in total. We've got 5. 2 of ours are defensive, so we're likely going to be just moving over here and trying to save those for next turn. And then we're going to try and just build up that Furia combo until there's nothing that they can do about it. The question is, what units have they got? I'm expecting a rickety backfire. Oh, a switchback. Okay. I will admit, switchback is not something I was expecting to see. I'm expecting to see this and aggressive movements onto us. They're probably going to try and kill either Maximus or just take damage from us. Yep. Now, what can we do about that? Honestly, I think the best bet might even just be to run away and just hole up and try and stall until we can win the game. Because we can still just get this hit here. Which is probably what we wanted to do. So we're going to just run back here.
Is order.
Run back here.
I've got
Maximus, do your usual thing.
You have that
Run
coming.
back here.
Hey.
To be completely honest, I kind of almost like throwing switchback even further back, but most importantly, we've got Tents in the next turn, so what do we want here first? It's probably the defense dome, but Nectarvine actually does a really good job here. Because Nectarvine heals 6 health immediately. Oh, we can play both.
Nice.
There we go, we've got both in, so we just want to make sure this is fairly well hidden. Yeah, so this is fairly safe here. And we can just build up this little fortress. Furia's going to keep on cranking up until eventually we can just end the game with her. And all we really need to do now is actually just keep Fatetwister Tantun safe to guarantee the lethal attack. So, switchback can come in. It could take out Maximus here potentially. This is what they want to be shooting, yeah, I agree. That miss is kind of brutal for them. We can possibly even get 6 damage onto the next turn, maybe even... Yeah, no, just 6 will do. We've got our whole list out. So I suppose the question is, can we actually just end them? Do we just pop some damage onto their captain and see if we can end the game from there? We've got a few options. I do think trying to take the captain out is probably the best bet, especially now that that's come down. And what is it? Is this the Vortex Beam? It's not going to take it out anyway, so that's all fine. I think they're just trying to block better lines of sight. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and shoot Zax. Best way to do that is probably... I wish I could zoom out a little bit more right now. So we can get good line of sight up here, probably on a couple of things. We can probably get it down here as well.
What have we got here?
So let's just start making these choices here.
Whoa. I mean, whoa.
Yeah, so that should work. So let's get Maximus in first. Down to 14.
Careful, you silly yahoo.
Got the crit, perfect. So if Furia can get line of sight, she can. Season of the Hunt, onto Furia. 100% range damage, 11 damage. Goodbye, Zax. We've got 2 really good Furia finishes this video. So that's awesome. But I'm really glad to see this actually working. I definitely think the early units to try and sort of hold our own there were really important. We've got some really big shots to finish the games off, so I'm really happy with that. Might have to make a little clip of that and pop that somewhere, because that was really enjoyable. That crit from Zax at the end, really key into finishing in that turn. We could have waited another turn, we did have time, but why wait when you can finish it now? They didn't have enough damage to kill Zax, we might as well try and kill them. All in all, that was a brilliant list. So we've had good fun with it, it worked really well. I think there is a world in which Furia combo could become viable. You just need you to really be able to hold that early game down. And I think this sort of combination of units did a good job doing that. Shrapnel didn't do as much in these, but I think can be really useful. But yeah, all in all, that was a great success on my part. Oh, so in my opinion, not on my part. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're trying really hard to push for the next big goal of 250 subscribers. We've already got our first 100, which was great. We've got a celebratory stream done for that. And we're trying to push for 250 on that long road all the way to 1,000 eventually. So every single one does help. And if you like this, if you've got any ideas of other combos you want to see, pop it in the comments. I'll make sure I read every single one of them. Hit the like button on the video. And other than that, have a good day.